The tone and pacing for this episode was deliberately slow, really to just kind of reveal and ultimately let us know who the female Titan is. Finally! Smile! Radon Stoas District, Part 1! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters and fellow Titan lovers of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, and I'm here to bring you another review on the awesome and mind-bending and mind-fuckery-filled tale that is Attack on Titan. Now, we know, obviously, following the events of the last episode, that, we were hoping that in this episode or the next one that it would finally be revealed who the female Titan was. And the last episode ended on a very downtrodden, somber note. Everybody has come back, and there's been crazy losses, and obviously entire Levi squad was wiped out, as well as several other of the scouts. Eren was pulled and ripped from the Titan, but was unconscious, and now is coming back for probably to go and face some kind of trial from this fucked up society that thinks he's some kind of danger to everybody. But anyway, that's how things wind up leaving off, and things wind up picking up, and it's a very slow-paced episode, right? Very slow and methodical. The first half of it, as a matter of fact, we wake up, you kind of, cut to the academy or somewhere on the interior where the MPs are stationed, on the interior at the Capitol, right? And we see Annie and a bunch of other of the scouts and whatnot, that kind of just getting together and going through their daily routines. We see how lazy some of these goddamn officers are. We see this one guy who's a crusader for wanting to make things better. Annie kind of backs him. At the same time, the guy winds up going and making an ass out of himself by trying to stop these two other soldiers from selling government property, which they did. They try to give him a bribe to keep him quiet, and he wants to be the do-gooder. And really, it doesn't have a lot of weight because the character has never been introduced or fleshed out before today. Really, all it was to do was to tie you into and bring you into the world of Annie a little bit more, who hadn't been seen a lot throughout the series. Now, as soon as my wife saw this episode and saw Annie, she's like, see, that's it. She's the female Titan. And now going back and watching the series again, it seems almost obvious that Annie would have been the female Titan by the look, the demeanor, everything else. It was not as obvious in the manga from what I remember, nor was it, when Eren was actually, appeared to have been eaten and killed at the beginning, and then, the Eren Titan and everything else. It was not as obvious to me in the manga. As it is now, seeing this especially a second time through in English, in Attack on Titan. However, I think they did a great job of building things up because they didn't show her or showcase her a lot throughout the series. So even though, yes, she's a blonde person and has a similar, I guess, kind of dead look in her eyes, that the female Titan has, it wasn't apparent and obvious to me the first time going through because they were misdirecting us and keeping you focused on other things that were more important. And when you didn't get to know a lot of these characters to begin with, you're just kind of going through and you're racking your brain like, all right, well, it must be some blonde characters. Up until a couple episodes ago when Irvin says that it was somebody that infiltrated and everything else, I didn't even know that it was anybody that was already on the inside. I figured it was somebody we hadn't been introduced to yet, right? Like in a great character reveal, it would wind up going and showing us in a flashback episode that it was this character that was in the shadows the whole time and everything else. Anyway, bottom line is this episode was all about the reveal of the female Titan, which is obviously Annie, okay? So that's what winds up happening, is that it's revealed that she's the female Titan, and it was done in a wonderful way because the first half of the episode was obviously this big build-up of her and her daily routine in life, and really what winds up happening is she winds up meeting Armin. Armin calls her into this dark alley and basically goes, and he knows what's going on. He knows that she's the female Titan. He doesn't let on to it, but he basically says, hey, listen, you're our inside chick here with the military police. We've got a plan for busting Eren out. We're going to make him escape, right? So she goes and talks about how this escape plan and everything else, or Armin talks her into doing it, and she winds up actually going and helping them. They wind up replacing, they put a wig on Jean, and they put him in the carriage somehow or another for Eren to be transported to trial, and nobody noticed that it wasn't Eren, and winds up being Mikasa and Armin and Eren that wind up kind of, trying to go and get Annie out and help her, have her help them get Eren out of the city. Annie asks several questions like, you could have done it at this point, why didn't you? And Armin's like, well, we figured that we would be able to buy more time and this and that. Armin is really he's a great leader in the sense that he's good at planning things. He's not a great dude when it gets into the thick of battle, but he's a master tactician. That's what we see in this episode. By the end of the episode, though, the proverbial lipstick has come off the pig. They try to go and lure Annie down these stairs into like a subway type area that basically was this remnants of this old city that was eventually going to be built underground, and she doesn't want to go down there. Now, it was just basically because she's, scared of tight, cramped spaces. That's what they make it out to be. But we know it's because when she turns into this 45 foot tall, crazed female Titan bitch, that she's not going to fit very well down there, and she's going to get all locked up and trapped up down there. And maybe she is claustrophobic too. I don't know. I don't particularly like those type areas either. But anyway, by the end of the episode, man, we wind up seeing that there was this whole thing was a sham, obviously, and there's a lot more than meets the eye to it. Armin has a lot more people in on it than he alluded to, because when he goes and fires this flare off, a bunch of people come tumbling down, doing all kinds of parkour Assassin's Creed type shit. Scouts, I don't know, whatever, MPs, I don't know who they are, but, come tumbling off of roofs and shit like that, and they basically try to grab her, they try to gag her immediately so she can't. We know that for Eren to turn into the Titan that he has to inflict harm upon himself. She, however, winds up putting on earlier in the episode this ring that we then go and see, and Mikasa catches the flash of it. It's got a spike on the end of it, so obviously she can use that to just basically touch or spike herself, and that's how she's able to trigger that, that female Titan form. So, again, this was just absolutely crazy. At the end of the episode, because we know shit's going down, she flips turns into the Titan. Mikasa grabs Eren and Armin, pulls them back down further into the subway, and that's how the episode ends off, with the lightning flashing and her obviously turning into this crazed female Titan. So, all in all, a very, very cool episode. Slower paced and methodical in the sense that it was trying to build up and show you that it was Annie and why it was Annie. And we still don't really know why, but it was to kind of give you that characterization and backdrop of it. So, very, very cool stuff. My episode question for you, though, brothers and sisters, is, did you see it coming? Now, if you read the manga, obviously you did, but when you first read the manga, when you first watched this, or if you're watching it now, did you come to the conclusion, and if so, when, that it was Annie and that she was the female Titan? Leave your answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, or just for the hell of it, because it's, Tuesday or Monday or whatever the hell it is. And we'll look forward to catching all of you in the next one, Nation. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out my other channels and follow me on Facebook and Twitter as well.